These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with BGG. Hard news excerpt: Satter believes he can control the angry masses, but only if he can control the system. His unleashing of the Sadras for 24 hours was that last message in graphic form. How to deal with Mustafa al-Sadr has long befuddled Western and Iranian officials. The latest outburst of violence in Iraq shows they have long underestimated him as well, writes Sajid Jihad. You want to know what this all means? Sadr sent the message, reform or else. I believe it was heard loud and clear. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report. Firefly Kazemi came out and told us if things continue the way they are right now, this is not right. You don't kill us. He is threatening Article 81 of the Constitution to make the position vacant to form a government in 15 days span. Frank says what he is saying is there is an article in their constitution where the prime minister, under certain conditions, can dissolve the government. This has been the plan. Start brand new under his leadership. Caparoni is saying Iraq is in a very volatile, sensitive time. There is no RV, but we do want to see Iraq themselves negotiate their way through this crisis. Sandy Ingram says it is difficult to move forward with a revalue or a float of the currency when the entire country is in a political crisis. Things are changing by the day in Iraq. Mark Z via PDK, my Redemption Center folks are being told not expect to work on Saturday, but very possibly to expect to work on Sunday. The chatter has been great. Sources are all saying they can't talk about this because they have an NDA, but they are all staying in place, which tells me there must be a reason. Right, Pimpy's saying the auctions are supposed to be used to control the exchange rate from getting out of hand, but it's been used for some real corrupt stuff. There's been talk several times about ending the auctions over the years to 22. Right now, you get 1450 dinars for every $1. Back in 2016, you only get 1182 dinars. Going back to 2013, used to only get 1166 dinars for every $1. When it decreases, that means Iraq's value in gaining on the US dollar. We want the amount of dinars exchanged for US dollars to decrease. We want to get to a point to where they can exchange one dinar for multiple US dollars. There is some hope with the decline of the US dollar. Sampson article quote, the UN Security Council calls on the Iraqi parties to exercise restraint and start dialogue. The members of the Security Council called on all parties to resolve their political differences peacefully, respect the rule of law, and the right to peacefully assemble and avoid violence. Article quote, Al-Fatawi comments on the statement of the UN Security Council on the events in Iraq, unquote. Another quote, the Security Council's statement on the recent events in Iraq was in a strong tone. Did all the Iraqi parties read it correctly? Unquote. Bruce via Wiser Now, Iraq was supposed to bring in Hashimi as commander-in-chief, dissolve their parliamentary form of government today and make it official. Now we heard this directly from our contact in Iraq. This did not take place today, which was on Thursday, but it should take place Friday morning. This was from September 2nd. And the thinking is, if it does, then we would be off and running for the weekend. So what we're hearing is that if it does not take place tomorrow in Iraq, probably in the morning, then let's just use the term all hell's going to break loose. Walking Stick via Frank 26, Iraqi bank gentleman in U.S. banks update. These CBI satellite banks are preparing themselves to collect as many of the 3 zeros as possible. These two gentlemen are establishing their banks just for that reason. Can Americans go to these banks? Yes, but remember, they are set up for the purpose of Iraqi citizens. We just don't know all the details yet. Hang in there, because I think more details of these satellite banks is going to be coming out. Militiaman article quote, the Central Bank of Iraq organizes a visit to a media delegation, unquote. Militiaman says the CBI will want those in meeting to have the truth from the horse's mouth. There'll be a mechanism to help citizens during the rollout and for the intentions of the CBI going forward. Once they change the exchange rate, the money sold will likely be tracked. Mark Z via PDK, the news has been very good today. The weekend starting, I am hoping for any moment. Frank 26 says there's a lot of politics going on right now in Iraq. There's a lot going on in our country. You ever notice if you don't pay attention to the news about a week or two later, everything is okay instead of something else they create? I don't care about the politics in Iraq. All right, and lastly, BGG says, I believe so many in this community have read this latest uprising in Iraq all wrong. The Sadras ran on platform of equal governance and reform. In stunning fashion, they won big, not quite big enough, but big. The people voted for a new direction, and they will again. The corrupt old guard has been doing everything possible to try and maintain their quote-unquote status quo. This is at the very heart of this conflict, and this is a good struggle. Freedom can be a messy business.